Hello, folks. This is George Carton here on Saturday, May 4th, going over another presidential candidate, and this time it is Pete Buttigieg. Pete is an amazing individual. He was actually valedictorian of his high school at St. Joseph High in South Bend, Indiana. After that, he went to Harvard, and after completion of his degree at Harvard, he actually received a Rhodes Scholar, so pretty amazing educational background. Then in 2011, he ran for mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and won, and he was reelected in 2015. Then he also served in the military and was deployed to Afghanistan while he was mayor of South Bend as well. So he has an incredible background. And if he was elected, he would be the youngest person ever to be elected as president of the United States and the first openly LGBT American president as well. So an incredible background. So I'm pretty impressed with this individual personally. I've heard he speaks 6 or 7 languages as well. Not all fluently, he even admits that, but it's just great to have somebody with a varied background like that. So just to kind of catch up, he was born on January 19th, 1982. And he's an American former naval intelligence officer who has been the mayor of South Bend, Indiana since 2012. He graduated from Harvard College, like I said before, and on a Rhodes Scholarship from Pembroke College in Oxford. From 2007 to 2010, he worked at McKinsey & Company, a management strategy consulting firm. Then from 2009 to 2017, he served as an intelligence officer in the U.S. Navy Reserve, attaining the rank of lieutenant and deploying for the Afghanistan War in 2014. He was first elected mayor, like I said earlier, in South Bend in 2011. Was reelected in 2015. Now, during his tenure as mayor of South Bend, his policies were widely credited with significantly spurring economic growth and business investment. He also campaigned for Indiana State Treasurer in 2010 and for chair of the Democratic National Committee in 2017. He lost both elections. Then on April 14th, 2019, he formally announced he was running for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States in 2020 after having formed an exploratory committee in January of 2019. And if you saw the fundraising numbers that came out, he'd already raised $7 million during his exploratory campaign. His campaign said that after he formally announced he raised $1 million, he's probably raised millions since then because he's doing pretty well in the polls. Nationally, not as well, but if you look at the early polling in like Iowa and New Hampshire, he's doing very well there. So it's very intriguing that this candidate that is so new to the national platform has just rocketed. Now, his platform includes support for universal health care, reducing home inequality, pro-environmental policies, dialogue and cooperation between the Democratic Party and organized labor, universal background checks for firearms purchases, the Equality Act, and preserving the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA program, for children of immigrants. He also supports reforms that would end gerrymandering, overturn the Citizens United versus FEC decision, and abolish the Electoral College. So he pretty much checks all the boxes off as a progressive Democrat. So then it just kind of comes down to geography. He's from Indiana. Republicans do tend, obviously, to win that state. It's where the current vice president is from. So it's interesting to have a potential nominee on the Democratic side and a potential nominee for the vice president position running at the same time. So it'll be interesting to follow his campaign. It looks like he's doing a lot of free media out there. It's kind of the playbook that Donald Trump did as well in his 2016 race when Donald Trump was doing all of the free media, going on as many talk shows as possible. It looks like he's doing that same type of platform as well, which is smart to get your name out there as much as possible. Preserve your cash and capital so you can use that later on for infrastructure, especially in those early states. So very intriguing individual, and we'll see how this campaign unfolds over the coming months. And looking forward to seeing him in the first debate. And his website is PeteForAmerica.com. So thank you for tuning in.